Hey everybody, hope you're having a great day today. I just want to hop on here and give you some quick advice, some things that I'd recommend for new trainers, and some mistakes that I made that I wish I wouldn't have made. First off, I want to have full disclosure with this channel. I'm not one of those 10K a month people. I'm not super rich. I'm growing the channel. I'm growing my business. At this point, Foley Fitness has almost no clients. Um, Most of my income is coming from my job where I am personal training. That's making about 1,300 a month before taxes, and then I have another job where I work with children doing sports. So kind of a little bit overlap, but so the total is about 1,500 before taxes. So again, not super rich here. We are under six figures, and hopefully we get above six figures. But so first piece of advice is I would definitely niche down. The whole concept of like being good at everything doesn't really work. And as you probably maybe don't know, but my niche is all lower back pain. So I herniated my disc when I was a lot younger, like in my 22s. I'm 30, 33 right now, 32. I'm old. My birthday's in the 90s. So, yeah, so I injured it back then, and since then it's been a passion to learn more about like lower back injuries. And so it's easy. So I have like tons of textbooks over here. Research is fun. So I really niched down with this one. Now, has that contributed to the difficulty getting clients? Probably. But again, it's like the job that I got that is my main support, the best personal training job that I've had thus far, was because I was niched down. So that for me opened up some opportunities where when I went in there with the passion and the knowledge that I have about the topic, it was a shoe in. And I mean, not to toot my own horn, but like I know a lot about lower back pain. And if somebody comes to me with shoulder pain, I'm always honest about it. And I'm like, that's not my thing. Like, I know a good amount about the shoulder, but again, if you want a full rehab, I'm probably not your guy. And I'm upfront about that. So I make sure that I make sure I let people know like what my specialty is. And again, the niche doesn't have to be pain related. It can be sports related. It can be whatever. It's just so much easier to lock in. But again, you have to remember part of the downfall that I've had is just getting myself out there. Like I'm a little scared of rejection. I have studied so hard and care so much about the topic that I take it a little bit personally, and I know that's I know that's not good. And but again, I'm just sharing this because I want you to not do that and just to understand that like your life can be so much better if you can just get past that barrier. And I'm starting to do that now, and I just every step forward I take, I'm thinking like, wow, I should have done this earlier. All right, so now for my mistakes. Number one mistake, this is 100% most regretted thing so far, is buying gear too early. Guys, I am a gearaholic. Like, I bought a camera that was way too expensive. I bought a laptop that was too expensive. I bought the best mics, the best everything. And where do you think that money went? I mean, or came from? It came from the credit card. So, we racked up some credit card debt, and the whole logic was like, man, I can't wait to have like a professional sounding quality. Like, I don't even know how it sounds right now, but like, the best quality, the best everything. And again, guys, it doesn't matter. Like, you need to just get in front of the camera and start producing. I mean, my spotty Instagram and YouTube is an example of that. The primary channel. It's just like I try to get perfection, and it doesn't happen at all. So you guys really got to focus on like just locking in on your topic, and then just talking about it, having fun expressing what it is that you want to talk about. That is definitely the biggest problem that I've had so far. And again, I want to go a little bit deeper into that because it's been such a problem because it sets you back financially for other opportunities where something comes up where you're like an event that would be very good for your like knowledge progression or something, and then it's like, oh well, I'm paying too much in credit card debt to justify going out to this event, and you miss out on a lot of opportunities. So making sure that you're not locking yourself down with debt that you don't need right now, and just slowly upgrading your equipment as you go, is huge. Second mistake is preparation over action. So the books I showed you earlier, those are kind of like my coping mechanism as well as the learning mechanism. When the momentum slows down, it's really easy to try to get that dopamine hit from something else that's potentially less difficult for you. Now, sure, studying, like reading textbooks might be difficult for someone, but for someone like me, it's somewhat fun. Not like fun, but somewhat fun. So doing that instead of doing the outreach, which is super nerve-wracking, again, you have the potential to get shut down, and yeah, so I mean, like, falling back to do stuff like research instead of doing the things that you actually need to do, it has been a big issue for me, and I'm still trying to get over that because, again, it's like in my head, it's like research is still moving the needle, but then again, it's not really moving the needle. So you guys got to stay focused, and you got to make sure you're doing the stuff that's hard to do, which is the outreach, which is getting yourself out there. And the quicker you do it, the more you get used to it, and the quicker you are going to expand, I assume. And last but not least is undercharging. Now, guys, this one is complicated or tricky because a lot of personal trainers charge too much when they know too little. So I think that when you have been in the game long enough, or just when you know enough about your topic, you know what you're worth. If you have to constantly ask yourself questions during the session, you're like, I don't know, and this is your niche, then you probably need to go back to the drawing board and study a little bit more, learn a little bit more about your topic. But if you are a soccer player and you're teaching people about soccer and the training mechanism for being more efficient with soccer, and it's you know it, then I mean, like, that deserves somewhat of a premium. Now, I'm not saying, like, charge out the wazoo, but back in my earlier days, my mid 20s, I knew a lot about the back still. And when I first started training, I think we started out, it was like, I think it was like $8 a half hour. So I had a few training clients outside of the gym, and I believe I had them about 40 an hour, and I maintained that price for probably like 5 years. And I was just like nervous to just to try to increase the price because I was like, what if they say no? Does that mean that I'm not worth more money? And I was just more confident or more content with just staying with that low price. And those are things that I regret because, again, it's like, they became really good friends. So we would stay a little bit after, or maybe they would start a little bit late, and I'd ultimately be over there for like an hour and a half or 2 hours. And it was like $40 for that. I was like, oh, so no, just make sure you're charging what you're worth and just slowly progress. And you're gonna lose people. It's just part of the game. Like I just recently lost one of my clients, and it was just a natural progression. Like they were having trouble in the beginning working out by themselves. They were fearful that they were going to injure themselves. We got past that point. We worked with them with the PT, and yeah, they felt confident working on their own, and then they left. And it was a little bit sad when that happened, but it's like that's the progression. I mean, like, I did my job. They don't need me forever, and that's great. Like, I don't want people to have to rely on me forever. If they want to, they're welcome to. But yeah, I mean, like, you're giving them the tools to go on their own, and that's what I believe. So I mean, like, maybe some people believe different, and they're gonna make more money than me. But I want people to have the tools. Like, I gave myself the tools to manage my lower back pain, and I want other people to have that as well. I want them to know what to do when I'm not around. And yeah, those are my pieces of advice for today.